Hello and welcome to the history of. I'm Richard.
And I'm Gary.
Welcome to another episode of our UK trip. And this is part 8. And we start in...
We docked in the port of Rosyth. Originally, we were not going to get to go to Edinburgh. They were going to have us go to the castle of Linlithgow. Which I was very frustrated with because I mean, one of the things is this is the major city. It's either this or Glasgow. And Glasgow wasn't on the itinerary for the trip. So it's like I wanted to go to Edinburgh. And I certainly made sure that we were going to get to go to Edinburgh. And once we got on board, they were very accommodating and they traded out our tickets for the Linlithgow Castle for the day in Edinburgh. Originally, this trip was supposed to be a round trip, so we were going to go and bring us back, and then on the bus, and then we could just explore the area around the port. But that was not going to give us enough time to actually explore. That one with taking a picture of the Johnny Walker was cool because of the fact that they had all the Pride stuff because they had just had all the Pride season. It's a school for the really wealthy. It's a boys' school. I remember that.
And now here we're actually in Edinburgh.
Yeah, so now we're getting to go through. This is on the Royal Mile. Again, the whole point of getting to do the Royal Mile was so that I could do my kilt shopping.
So we explored different areas. It was very crowded.
This is definitely their major tourist destination.
Yeah. It was really crowded.
Pedestrian zone, mostly. It was packed. It had the unicorn on it. Yeah, so the unicorn being the symbol of the Stuarts, the symbol of Scotland. I find that interesting. I like the unicorn. It's very interesting because of their being a part of the United Kingdom. They've got lots of lions everywhere because that is Britain. You know, the lion and the unicorn. The lion being Britain and the unicorn being Scotland. And there being the war between them. The lion winning. And so obviously being part of the United Kingdom. And being part of the island of Great Britain, the lion is very prominent on a lot, especially like the Scottish flag. So this is where I finally got to buy my kilt. We unfortunately did not take pictures of me getting fitted for my kilt because, you know, Richard is obsessed with Star Wars. And I have a lot of fun enabling him. And whenever we go shopping, it's all like, oh, you should get this. Oh, you should get this. You should get this. You should get this. Yeah. And Richard was being really cute as I'm getting fitted. He's like, oh, you should get this. Oh, you should get this. And so instead of taking pictures, we're like fixated on what we should get. So
it never even crossed my mind to take video or picture. It's so strange.
So I missed out on that. But I now have my kilt. It's something I'm very proud of. My family is the Clan Shaw. Then it became this hunt for the perfect buckle, and which I ended up having to buy. It still came from Scotland, but it was something that I actually ended up buying over the internet when I got home. I couldn't find it in any of the stores there.
Yeah, nowhere in the store. Yeah.
I wanted back to the unicorn. I wanted the unicorn.
Yeah.
And so ultimately I found a pewter belt buckle for it. So I'm excited for that. But it was just really cute to watch Richard. You know, don't you want this pin? Oh, don't you want this sock? Oh, don't you want this thing? Or don't you want this? And it's like I'm trying not to overspend, but at the same time, it's
because the first thing you were just gonna get the kilt and the bag,
the kilt and the sporran.
Yeah, he was just gonna get that, but then I was just like, no, get the other stuff.
Yeah,
get the socks, get the flash, get the shirt, get the vest. They're like, do you want the scarf? Yeah, get the scarf.
I had a lot of fun, and I was so excited. I mean, the biggest thing about getting to do this trip was the idea that I was going to get to go to Scotland, and I was going to get to buy my family kilt. So that was a bucket list item for me, and I'm really, really excited that I got to do that. We only had 45 minutes to shop and then get back on the bus. But the reality was we didn't really want to just go back and explore the port area. We actually wanted to explore Edinburgh. So we had planned on taking the train afterwards, but instead, you know, we still ended up sticking around and we just didn't do the bus. So now we had more time to actually explore the rest of the Royal Mile.
Another picture of the unicorn.
I think that was taken on Holyrood Castle.
I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess it doesn't really look like it in the picture, but It was pretty high. It's so funny how it doesn't look as grand as when you're actually there.
That's the thing, is like when we did our trip to Paris, when we took the picture of the Eiffel Tower from our hotel room, it looks really small and really far away. But from our own vision of the window, it filled most of the window, and it was so close.
Yeah.
This'll do nicely. Oh, that was just fun. All the shop titles. This'll do nicely. Things like that. I have a thing about Adam Smith, because I find it amusing that people say survival of the fittest incorrectly. Survival of the fittest was coined by him as an economic term, not as a evolutionary term. And so getting to, knowing that he came from Scotland and they're having the statue, I was like, okay, I got to get a picture of it. Hi. There's the Supreme Court. Another cathedral or church. This is Parliament Square. Oh yeah, just some random owl handler. And, my thing about owls, that is the castle, the Edinburgh Castle that's up there. Obviously, we couldn't get to it because you can see the stands off to the side. They were having some festival going on.
Yeah, that was annoying.
So there was no getting to it, really. In fact, anybody who had a tour that day, I think they weren't going to be able to go to the tour.
Oh, that sucked.
So it was a good thing we didn't prepay for that tour.
Yeah.
Try and take another shot of the castles. Now we're heading towards the train tracks in order to take the train back. Train
tracks.
I know.
Train station.
Thank you. Because we were told that we could take a train to.
I think here we are at the train station.
Inverkeithing, and then from Inverkeithing, our cruise line would have a bus that would take us from there back to the port.
Yeah, this was quite disastrous.
We actually purchased the tickets, and only to find out that basically they were having problems with the trains that day. And they kept canceling the trains.
And then the person says to Gary, "We don't know when they're going to be here." We're like, "What?"
Or we don't. It wasn't that. It was that they didn't know which station they were going to go into, which terminal. Because we were trying to figure out which terminal that we needed to go and wait for the train, and they're like, "We don't know that yet." So that was really frustrating. So Richard just goes, "Come on, we're going to go get a taxi."
Yep.
So
I didn't want to stress it out at all. I said, "Take a taxi. We can just go there. So what? Pay for it." And what's so funny is that we originally, because you wanted to go to Edinburgh, and we were like, oh, that if we took a taxi, that's pretty expensive, right, to go to Edinburgh. So you convinced the cruise line to give us a ticket to take the bus, but we ended up taking a taxi anyway.
Oh my God, yeah.
We take a taxi back.
Yeah. But, by doing it, at least we had a tour that we didn't have to pay extra for. So They actually did, show us around, show us the different sites. So we got to have that getting there. Just, we only had to pay for one way to go back.
Yeah.
And it was nice that the taxi driver, we told him where we were ultimately going. We wanted them to get us just to Inverkeithing so that way we could take the shuttle back to the dock, and she goes, "Oh, it'll be the same price if I just take you to the dock." So she just took us to the dock.
Oh, and now we're back on the cruise.
Those bridges were just absolutely beautiful, and this is a lot like our new bridge in Long Beach.
We're in Invergordon.
Yeah, this is so we could do Inverness. Some people could choose to go to the Loch Ness. We obviously did not, but exploring Inverness was a really nice little town. They took us on a little walking trip around, and then we got to go and explore on our own. Mm-hmm. And that was fun. And, nice little
shopping. I just thought this was fascinating that they just had this place where you could just get water, just out in the open. Something that we don't have in the United States.
It was really nice to be out on the water in the town. little footbridges.
Gary's little plush. Little
Yep.
plush that he got.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I bought for Trudy.
This bridge is very shaky. It bounces as we walk over it.
I actually like it. I like how it feels.
And then we're back on the cruise ship, and I wanted to take a picture of what the furnishings look like, and they have what they call the living room, and then their mini museum of, was it Celtic stuff?
Viking
stuff.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Viking culture, Viking history.
Yeah.
So we're on Shetland Island. This is Lerwick, is the town.
Welcome to Lerwick in the Shetland Islands. This quaint little Victorian port.
This was the municipal building, and just all the stained glass. You know, you're used to thinking about this kind of stained glass in a church, but this wasn't a church. This was the municipal building, and it had the history of the Shetland Island told in the stained glass. It was quite beautiful. And then just exploring, you know, the village. It was interesting. All the brickwork.
We're in Fort Charlotte. Beautiful view of Town Hall. And overlooking the port. Lovely rainy day. It's so nice and crisp and cool, unlike at home where apparently it's burning up.
Yeah, it was interesting that people paid for a tour for that.
Well, there really wasn't much to it.
Yeah, it was very easy to walk through it and get what you needed to know out of it. And
Yeah.
kind of listen in on the tours that were happening.
Yeah.
And again, I love the fact that they gave us the red umbrellas, so that way we didn't have to bring our own. Richard finally found his Biscoff.
Yeah, I thought I could find it in London, and I didn't. So we found it in Lerwick.
He's still eating it.
Yep, it's good stuff. It's delicious.
We went back to the ship to have lunch and then take the tour for the afternoon. And this is where we actually got to go around to the other side of the Shetland Island.
Welcome to Shetland. He's so cold. So cute. Oh. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All this beautiful, beautiful fog. Tingle. What? Oh, beautiful sheep.
And got to actually go and play with we got to see the ponies.
Hello.
Huge ponies.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Huge ponies. The Shetland ponies.
Hi.
It was frustrating because there was a woman there to actually talk about it, but this guy came to play music,
so cute.
and he took up so much of the time that we didn't get to have the full presentation and the history, which honestly we would have rather have learned more about the ponies, since that's what we were there for.
Yeah.
But they were trying to be nice to the guy who was, he was trying to entertain us, and that was nice, but it kind of defeated the purpose.
Yeah.
But they were so cool.
We couldn't touch them.
Scalloway, that's the other side. So, we were on the Lerwick side, and then we ended up on the Scalloway side. Originally, the tour was actually supposed to go to that tower, but the tower is closed right now, so we did not get to actually go to it.
We're on the cruise ship now. We're passing this island, and I thought it was fascinating that it was a very large graveyard taking up a lot of this island.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Think about that, because it's like, it's an island. There's only so much space. I can understand why certain cultures, especially Viking cultures, didn't waste land. They burned bodies, they cremated bodies, and that makes a lot of sense. But to take up that much of very precious land that it could be used for crops and living space for the dead, it spoke to how important it was to these people. Oh, you're eating a shrimp cake or one of those shrimp chips.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him. Again, he will try things. He'll go out of his comfort zone to try foods, even though, I make fun of the fact that, he has such a limited palate, but he will try stuff.
It tasted okay. It wasn't too, I guess fishy, it wouldn't be the word to call it, but too seafood-ish. Because any kind of seafood I don't like, and it has a certain kind of flavor to it, and it wasn't very strong. And the entertainment for the night, ABBA tribute, so it was pretty cool. A very nice way to cap the night.
We're towards the end of the trip now, so it's kind of cool. We did ABBA at the beginning, and now here's an ABBA thing at the end.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the end of this video, part 8. We have one more video of our cruise in the UK. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next. Bye.
Bye.